If you're that online entrepreneur or remote closer that spends literally all day working on their business on their computer, but you want your physique to go from this to this, I got you. I'm literally making this video for you, and I'm gonna break down step by step as to how I achieved that for my physique and how you can achieve this for yours too. I made this for you because I know that you don't have 3+ hours to spend in the gym every day, nor should you have to. I made this because I know that your time is money, and believe me, every minute does matter. And who this is for is going to be those very heart-led, strong online entrepreneurs or remote closers that spend all that time on the laptop but want real change in their physique that pours into the other areas of their life, like their relationships and their business and their passion. This is for you if you want a physique that gains the respect of a prospect without you even having to open your mouth. This is for you if you want to actually put in the work and reap the rewards and trust the process. This is for you if you see fitness as the same form of self-mastery as you see business, and if you want to use fitness as a vessel to make the other areas of your life, like your relationships and your passions, even deeper. However, I'm going to save you some time real quick. You can click off right now because it's not for you if you think that fitness is going to be some quick one-size-fits-all fix. It's not for you if you're impatient, and it's not for you if you want to be begged or pleaded with like a prospect who's not interested in buying whatever it is that you're selling. This isn't for you if you're going to complain and aren't willing to put in the work and you want someone to hold your hand and give you a little kiss on the forehead, even when you're wrong. This is not for you if you don't want to be held accountable for not showing up for yourself. So since we're getting to know each other, I'm going to share with you guys a fun little story that happened in high school when I didn't have the self-respect to pour into my physique, and I'm going to tell you the consequences that happened because of it. So I'm a freshman, right? And I'm sitting in my last period English class, and next to me is sitting this girl, one of the popular girls, right? You know the type. And she was obsessed with Chris Evans in that first Captain America movie. You know that scene where he comes out of the test tube and he's all jacked, like the one that inspired millions of dudes to go and work out. Anyways, we're talking about getting girls, okay? Garnering the female gaze. And she's like, Drake, I bet you've never gotten girls before. And I'm like, yeah, I've gotten girls before, knowing damn well that she was right. I had never seen a woman in that capacity since the day I came out one, okay? And because there was probably a real lack of confidence that came out of that bold statement that I just said, you know what she did? She laughed at me. And honestly, she had every right to, because in that moment, I had felt humiliated and I felt disrespected just as much as I did 2 years prior when another girl in her friend group called me fat and ugly in the 7th grade. Now, of course, that felt like shit. But how could I expect others to give me respect when I didn't even give myself the respect that I deserved in getting my health and my physique right? So of course, I didn't do a thing about it until a year later when most guys act when I experienced my first real heartbreak, okay? And then that's what got me into the gym. But why did it take that much? Why didn't I just want the self-respect? I didn't realize, though, at the time that that's what I needed. And that's really what got me into fitness as a whole. That's what got me on this whole crazy journey is, at first, I was seeking the validation of others, knowing that that wasn't right. Because at the whole time, it was actually the respect of myself that I wanted. And over time, through building that discipline and building that focus and building that sharpness in the gym, it poured into other areas of my life, and people started to notice that. I got really good relationships from it. I met my beautiful girlfriend at the gym. I got job opportunities because of it. People respected the presence that my physique garnered and the wit that came with it from the sharp discipline that I had built in the gym. And all that is possible for you as well on the call with your prospects and your clients and all the people that you deal with on a day-to-day basis. Subconsciously, people tend to respect you just a little bit more when you have a nice physique. And so, getting back to that period of time where I did start working out, I was lifting weights, I was doing cardio, I was eating healthy, and because of that, I did see some results. However, things got very stagnant very quickly, and it took me a long time to realize that everything I was doing wrong. I was doing excessively. I was not putting in the time and the research to understand what worked and what didn't. And while learning by doing is good, that's why it took me 9 years to realistically build a physique that you could probably build in 3. I mean, because of me having to learn all these lessons the hard way, I ended up with a really bad relationship with food. I mean, my, gut went down and I finally saw my abs, but I was terrified of gaining any weight back. And so that gave me a borderline eating disorder. And I was the same size for many years because I was so deathly afraid of putting on muscle and actually eating. And because I was so skinny and I was ego lifting such heavy weight, I ended up injuring myself. And I was spending 3 to 4 plus hours in the gym. Like, bro, doing what? And because of that rough period of a few years where I was figuring it out, my progress was really stagnant and I found myself becoming miserable because of the gym, because I didn't know what to do. So you might be asking, well, Drake, what changed? Now I'm gonna go ahead and preface this with when I was getting into fitness and why I was so lost in the sauce was because guys like Athlean-X and V-Shred were like the top influencers and the top authorities on anything fitness. And while they might have had some okay advice here and there, and perhaps they are very qualified in certain regards, the advice means nothing without any means to implement it. I didn't know what worked for me. What worked for them probably didn't work for me. And that's the biggest problem that I see with the modern fitness landscape, is that even though there's a lot more real advice and real tips tested by real people, those could be things that just work for them. You see all these gurus and gym bros and influencers on social media, most of them being on steroids and not being truthful about it, and they're spewing some terrible advice about different diets or different workout plans or splits or frequencies or intensities that might work for them, but would be terrible for you and your body. And that's the biggest problem, is I wasn't listening to mine. But when I finally did get coaches and do research and go through trial and error for what worked for me, I learned the most important thing that you could ever learn, which is how to truly listen to your body and respect for yourself and figure out what works for you that might not work for others. And that is what changed for me. I finally learned to listen to myself. And that is where the progress saw a big boost. And just as I listened to myself, it is time for you as well to listen to yourself and personalize your approach. So enter my method that I developed, which is the Ascension method, which I know sounds very dramatic, but that is the special sauce that got me from this to this, and Armando from this to this. And what it is it takes fitness and it removes the concept of it being a one-size-fits-all approach that all these fitness coaches and influencers and gurus try to market it as, and it personalizes it towards you. Because while there are some universal truths to fitness, it is an individual game and an individual race. Your only competition is you and who you were yesterday and who you will be tomorrow. And that is all that matters. We teach you how to listen to your body and in turn make a custom diet plan or split that works for you and your schedule and your style of training and all those goals that which you desire. What I love about the Ascension method is that it teaches you just how simple fitness is and how much of a hassle it doesn't have to be. Because at the end of the day, it's you listening to your body and you figuring out what's right for you. Be it a deficit, a surplus, a refeed, a recomp of your body. Do you want powerlifting or bodybuilding? What style of training do you need and does your body require to get the results that it wants? Because this is all about variability and it's all about individuality. And once that's figured out, then we figure out how to implement that confidence and that discipline that you built from fitness into the other areas of your life, like your relationships, your passions, and the most important part, your business, because you're spending all day with these prospects, all day with people that you could potentially work with, but you aren't giving yourself that time and that grace. And we show you that it should be the other way around so that you can show up better for those goals that you wish to hit. So if all this sounds good for you and you are looking for an approach to individualized fitness that is sustainable and does work for you and your schedule and doesn't overcomplicate your life and actually adds to your presence in business and in life, then I think we found the right approach for you, my friend. Because no one wants to plan every workout, plan every bite, and spend their time scratching their head as to what to do next in the gym. Our time is money, again, and we only have time to get in and out and do our thing so that we can show up better for our business and those that we love in life and for our passions. And so if this sounds good to you, DM me the word Ascension on Instagram and we can talk more. And I'll send you more info and we can discuss if this is the right fit for you or not. Because I truly believe that it is, especially if you want it to be. Because nobody wants to be sold. I'm not here to get you on a sales call. You spend all day doing that. I'm not here to beg or bargain or plead with you. This has to be something that you want on your own volition so that we can make it happen, because that's how you see the most progress in fitness, is because you want it to happen. So again, DM me the word ascension on Instagram and we'll get to work, and I will save you the hassle of the mental heavy lifting, and for you, keep it only physical.